Gaius Marius. Let's check out the stats on this bad boy. He was born in 157 BC and died in 86 BC. It's sad, but all mortals must perish. He was elected consul an unprecedented 7 times. That's like a modern-day president, except there were 2 at a time, and they were in the field military commanders. The perfect system. Marius was considered the savior of Rome for defeating the invading Cimbrian Teutons. Side note, the Cimbri were said to go sledding down mountains on their shields in the nude. Also, Marius was Julius Caesar's uncle. His wife Julia was the sister of Little Caesar's papa. Kind of a cool nephew to have. And Marius's rivalry with Sulla led to the First Roman Civil War. Sulla represented the optimates, the conservative rich dudes. Marius' support came from the populares, a more progressive group that wanted to help the common people. You're probably thinking, okay, I'll never remember this. Well, here's a helpful trick. Sulla is like Scrooge McDuck. They both start with S. And Gaius Marius is like that famous man of the people, God's son, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. It's easy to remember because of G. And much like Scrooge had the support of Launchpad, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Sulla had Gnaeus Octavius and horsies. I guess Marius also had horsies. And God's son wasn't really into slaughtering people. Maybe not the best analogy, but it's not the main topic anyway. Let's take a look at a story told to us by the historian Plutarch.
Check out my books, y'all.
When Marius was running for his 6th term as consul, he needed a little help. He wasn't quite as popular as he had been, and the people didn't feel the need to elect a great general when there weren't any barbarians threatening them at the time. So Marius entered into an alliance with Saturninus. Saturninus helped get Marius elected, but he also did other stuff like exile a politician for almost no reason and assassinate rivals. This made Marius quite hated by some people, and he was a guy that wanted to be loved. He sided with the populares, but he still respected and wanted to be respected by the nobles. So, as Plutarch tells us,
That's me, y'all.
One night, Marius had some nobles over at his mansion. They tried to get Marius to take a stand against Saturninus. It seemed they were succeeding. But they didn't know Saturninus had come to visit through another door. This is where Marius went genius mode. He pretended to have diarrhea to excuse himself from the room. The nobles naively thought nothing of him slipping away, but he did not in fact go to the toilet area. He went to visit Saturninus instead. There, he pretended to hate the nobles. Saturninus was none the wiser. Throughout the evening, Marius repeated the routine, feigning diarrhea to stir up beef. It is a rare genius who can utilize diarrhea so effectively. But sadly, much like many Seinfeld plotlines, thanks to cell phones, we may never see the need for faking diarrhea in this manner again. I can't stress enough how bad phones are for society. But on the other hand, you can watch this video on a phone, so it's not all bad. Anyway, it didn't really work out for Marius, because when some senators and landowners later tried to protest, Marius brought some troops to disperse them, but things got a little out of hand, and all those rich dudes got slaughtered. And that was the end of Marius's political career for a bit. Whoops, jumping way ahead, Marius got exiled for a different thing, came back, beheaded a bunch of his enemies, and displayed their heads on pikes, which I guess was slightly frowned upon by some. Then it seems like he went kind of crazy, drank too much, got sick, and died. So, not completely his fault, but he played his part in the destruction of the Republic. And, the end. In conclusion, Gaius Marius, aka the Diarrhea Genius, was a pretty cool dude. Phones are both good and bad. In many ways, Scrooge McDuck is a modern-day Sulla. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click the share button and send this to your oldest living relative. Thanks.